Hi everybody. Hi. First, let me say thank you guys so much for all the well wishes and beautiful message you sent me on my birthday. I really appreciate it and it touched my heart and it made my day even more special. So thank you so much for that. I know I've been away for a while, but there is a really good reason. I am in the process of buying a brand new house. Yay! Like I mentioned in the past that I've been living in this rental, saving up to purchase a house, and I'm finally ready. I am there. I'm so excited. I feel extremely blessed that I'm actually in a position to purchase a new construction. I am purchasing from a builder called Lennar Homes. I will post a link below to all of the communities that they're building in the DMV area if you're interested in their homes. One of the reasons that I chose Lennar is that they have a concept of everything is included. So when you go see a model, there are very few upgrades that are not included in the base price of the home. Whereas with most builders, when you go to the model has every upgrade possible. So what you see is way more expensive than the base price that they quote you. And Lennar is very different in that things like hardwood floors or granite countertops, those things are included in the base price. So I went with Lennar because it made the most sense, and they were building in a community that fell in an area that I was looking in. Now the reason I was looking in a specific area was number one, because it was closer to work, and that was one of my goals. Right now, it only takes me about 40 minutes to get to work because I leave very early in the morning. But my commute home is anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. And the commute was killing me, literally. So I was looking for homes closer to work. So this was closer to work. It's only a half an hour away from work, which is great. Another bonus is that it is in a rural or very suburban area. So one of the things that I would definitely suggest to you if you're looking for a home, or you will be looking for a home in the future, these are a few tips that you'll find useful. I'm a first-time home buyer, so these are all things that I had to learn in this process, so I wanted to share with you. First thing is, if you go with a traditional loan from a bank, they usually require you to put down 20% of the price of the house. Most people in this economy do not have 20% to put down, so most people go for a federal loan. The most popular federal loan is an FHA loan, the Federal Housing Administration loans, which only require you to put down 3.5% as a down payment on a home. The one thing I would caution you though about an FHA loan is that they also add on something called a PMI insurance, which is private mortgage insurance. And what that does is it guarantees the lender that they will get paid by this insurance should you lapse in your payments in your mortgage on your loan. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, and it used to be that it was just for the first few years of your loan, the first 5 years to be exact. So it wasn't too bad of a thing, but now it's required for the life of your loan. So for the whole 30-year loan, you are paying this PMI insurance that can add up to $400 to your monthly mortgage payment. Now that's a huge difference, and that's a huge amount. So if you're looking at homes, you may need to adjust the price range that you're looking in based on the PMI insurance that's being charged in that area. So I would suggest that when you're looking at a home and you see a price that you're not too sure if you can kind of budget it in, I would say send the asking price to your lender, have them do all the numbers for you so you can see exactly what your mortgage would be. Now keep in mind, if you're not buying a brand new construction where the price isn't necessarily negotiable, you're buying an older home, that asking price may not be what you actually pay. It may be less if you negotiate to a lower price, but at least you have an idea of what the PMI would be. So for me, I really love suburban and rural areas. So I like to be close to DC and Virginia and the city, but I don't want to live in it. I want to live in peace and quiet. So I was looking in rural areas, and beautiful thing is that the federal government has something called a USDA rural loan, which is for specifically rural areas. So they're trying to encourage people to buy homes in rural areas. So they offer this loan. And the beauty of this loan is that it's 100% financing, which means that all the money that you have saved up for your down payment, you can choose to make the down payment with that and bring down the cost of your mortgage, your monthly mortgage, Or you can decide, since it is 100% financing, to just go ahead and finance the whole thing and keep that money in the bank, which is what I've decided to do because it's the best option for me. It's a new construction. I don't foresee really needing to do any repairs or anything, but even walking in the door of a brand new home, you have expenses. Like, I have to put in window treatments, I have to buy a washer and dryer, and in some communities you have to buy more appliances than that. So you will have expenses walking in the door no matter what, whether it's a new construction or an older home. So keep that in mind. And I believe I asked my lender, if I made a $10,000 down payment, how much would that affect my monthly mortgage? And it only affected it by like $20 a month. So you're better off to keep your money in the bank and use it when you need it, especially if you're buying an older home, because you don't know what kind of repairs or expenses you might run into. The other thing I'd like to suggest is that you always get a home inspection. It is an option in some cases. With an FHA loan, it is required. It is something you have to pay for out of pocket. It runs about $200 to $350 depending on the inspector that you get. I would definitely go by referrals for these inspectors. And for me, the biggest suggestion, because I am buying a new construction, you assume that, okay, it's a new construction, they're building it to code, I don't need to get an inspection. But I would still suggest that you get an inspection, because we're talking about construction. There are things that can go wrong, and there can be things that are overlooked. So what I would suggest, and what I'm going to do, is before the drywall is put up, I'm going to have an inspection. I'm going to pay and walk through the house with my inspector, check all the plumbing, the electrical, wiring, everything before the drywall's up, so I feel that I'm insured that everything is done correctly, and when I walk into that house, everything's good and I don't have to worry about it for years down the line. I will post below a link to the FHA, Federal Housing Administration Loan Information, also a link to the USDA Loan Information, as well as their map, so you can put in your zip code or any area that you're looking and see if it's eligible. And even if it's not, at least you can see the areas that are eligible, and you might want to look in those areas instead. Another loan that offers 100% financing is a VA loan or a Navy Federal loan. If you have a Navy Federal account, they offer 100% financing as well. So all of these things are great to know. If you are with a credit union, you might want to check and see what they offer. I work for the Census Bureau, and we do have a Census Federal Credit Union, which I'm a member of, but they do not offer any mortgage loans any longer. So that wasn't an option for me. And anyway, the USDA loan worked perfectly for me. Another great blessing about buying this house is that I get to help my parents, who are empty nesters now, and they really need to downsize, and their place is just too much for them, and it's a little too expensive these days. So they are going to be moving in with me. I'm so happy that I'll have the opportunity to let them move in. I was on the fence between getting a detached home as opposed to a townhome. I was leaning toward detached homes initially, but then when I thought about it, I have always lived in rental communities, so I've always had someone else to do the lawn work or the yard work. So I knew that I didn't necessarily want a huge backyard. I did want an outdoor entertainment area, but I didn't want a lot to have to take care of. So then I started leaning toward townhomes, because as I was looking as well, you can get a little more space with a townhome than a detached home, at least in this area. So I found a 3-story, 2-car garage townhome over 2,200 square feet. It's really, really nice and spacious. I think my parents and I are going to be very comfortable there. We'll have space to entertain, indoor and outdoor. We'll have actual space to just be ourselves and not be on top of each other, so that'll be great. So the first home that the builders were building for me, there was an issue. I already had a contract, but I went and I stayed on top of the builder, and I was going to visit the site here and there. And one of the times that I went, actually on my birthday, the construction manager allowed me to walk through the frame of the house, and I realized that it was not the right size. So I was a little worried because I had already signed a contract and was locked in, but I will say that Lennar was more than willing to work with me. They're going to give me a new home, so that's a delay in my moving date of 3 months, but I'm going to get what I want, and that's what's most important, because I'm not a little spring chicken, and although I'm a first-time home buyer, I'm not looking at this as my starter home. This is going to be the home that I'm going to live in for quite a while, probably until I'm ready to downsize. So I'm really happy to say that they did work with me. I have nothing but great things to say about Lennar at this point. We will see by the time the house is built if I feel the same way. Because I've heard different things from people with new construction, is that you kind of go through your paces with it. So I'm going to stay on top of them. And any tips and tricks that I can give you, I will definitely be sharing. I'm super excited about this. I've been waiting a long time to purchase a home, and like I said, I just feel blessed, and I'm so happy that I'm finally in this place and that I'm actually going to get a new construction, which I never thought was going to be possible just because of price. But I found a great deal. Everything, it's like the stars aligned for this to happen for me. So I'm super, super, super excited, and I'm definitely going to share the process with you. I can't wait to get in the house and show you guys some features that I really love about it. Oh, and I'll get to show you some decorating ideas as I go along and hear what you think about how I'm going to decorate the space, okay? So I will be back soon. I will have some more Music Mondays because you guys have been asking for that. I'm so excited that you like it. I have so many more artists to share. I have not done my locker repair yet. That, you know, I haven't had time with. I've been dealing with the loan process and the builder and all this stuff. So when I get to that, I definitely will film it and share it with you guys. So don't worry, I haven't left you out of that process. And then I have some new hair accessories that I've fallen in love with that I'm going to share with you in a future video. So stay tuned. I will be posting videos in the next couple weeks on a regular basis again. So thank you so much for your patience, and know that I've been away for a good reason. Such a good reason. I'm super, super excited, and I cannot wait to share this process with you guys. Alright, so thank you so much for all your support and your love on my birthday. I really appreciated it. And I will be back soon. Bye-bye.